By the end of this video, you're going to understand very clearly the 3 areas that are affecting your business growth above all other things. The only 3 areas you need to learn. Now, when you get these 3 areas in place, you'll have some great success. Now, my name is Anthony Trucks. I'm a former NFL player. I'm a speaker. I'm an author. I'm a father of 3. I'm a 6-figure consultant. I'm also the founder of a company called Trust Your Hustle. And I've built 2 businesses from the ground up to 6 figures through just sheer drive and passion, learning, and a lot of failure over the years. So I now give back, and I teach entrepreneurs like yourself how to get clarity, confidence, and self-belief so you also can break through your barriers to get what you want most out of life. Now, when it comes to these 3 areas of business, I want you to think about this concept. Really, you got to learn certain things about your business, because the worst thing you can do is, be able to go and put all this effort into something only to have it fail at some point. I mean, if you're a business owner, you aspire to be a business owner, you don't want to have a business that's here today and gone tomorrow, because that means all the work you put in is all for nothing. Now, truthfully, 95% of businesses fail in their first 5 years. Only 22% of businesses are still on the Fortune 500 after the last 60 years, which is actually a humongous shift. So think about if you were to start a business, you put all this blood, sweat, and tears into it, or maybe you have a business and you have put the blood, sweat, and tears into it, sleepless nights, the time away from your family, the nagging, people telling you you're crazy, and all of a sudden, after all the years of putting time in, it just fell out from underneath you. You would not want to experience that. And that's something that, for me, I got to a place where I was having those ups and downs, and I almost lost a couple businesses just by not knowing certain things about the business. I had first, come home from the NFL, and I opened a gym because I have my degree in kinesiology, and I wanted to give back the best way I could, which was, for me, sports. So I'm working this business up and down, and I'm not realizing all these areas that I'm struggling in terms of running the business, the different tools I need to be able to get the job done, how to coach people, and then where I stood in all the mix, like how I operated, how I taught people, how I managed. And if I didn't know these things, it affected the success. I got to a place where at one point, I owed my landlord $16,000. I had $4,000 in my bank account, and I had 2 weeks to pay or I was gonna be evicted. Now, it was a scary place. I remember sitting at night just staring at a ceiling, like wondering, how am I gonna feed my family? And this is when I kind of figured out the 3 areas of business that allow you to have success. Now, if you think about this, say you have to hammer a nail. Now, if you have to hammer this nail, you need to have a hammer, right? You also have to learn how to use that hammer. So conceptually, if I say, here's a hammer, but I don't tell you how to use it, you can't hammer the nail. Then, if I say, hey, this is how you hammer a nail with a hammer, but then I don't give you a hammer, again, you can't hammer the nail. So you think, yeah, if I have a hammer and I know how to use it, you can use it, correct? But if you give that hammer and the technique you teach to a baby, the job can't get done. You can't hammer the nail. The 3 areas of business that you must master are the tools, the techniques, and the technician, the person you are behind the scenes. Because a lot of people like yourself, you may have got to a place where you went out and learned a bunch of information. You learned about new tools in the world between social media and different coaches and all these different tools you can utilize, right? Software and hardware. But then you also had to learn the techniques. How do you use these social media platforms? How do you use this new software? How do you use these different hardware pieces? But then you also have to hire a technician that's capable of doing the job, capable of learning how to use these things, capable of putting the behind the scenes work in. So if you don't focus on the tools, the techniques, and the technician, who you are, to get the work done, your business will fail. Not might, will. And this is something that I've seen in a lot of business of friends that I've seen. I try to teach them, they don't want to listen. All of a sudden their business failed. And I sit back and I tell them, like, oh yeah, I should have got this tool, or maybe I should have used it this way, or if I'd only learned how to get up and focus on time, or be able to communicate better, or get my idea out there, because there is a person in the world right now who has a world-changing idea or a vision. But if they're not the right technician, or they don't build the technical tools, they can't bring it to fruition. Your life and my life is worse off. So essentially you have to learn those 3 areas and learn how to utilize those. You have to learn what each one of them is, how to increase and maximize each one as well. When you learn to do that, you can move forward. So in order to help with that, I've created a really cool free tool you can get that allows you to understand the entrepreneur's tripod and also be able to see this one area I found. All this stuff works amazingly great with all my clients, but if you don't get to a place where you apply this one concept, you will not have the breakthrough. It's the one barrier, the only one barrier that stands between you and your success entrepreneurially to get what you want moving forward with the entrepreneur's tripod. In order to get that, all you have to do is click the button you see on your screen. And I hope you enjoyed the video because there's some really cool information. I hope that you were able to apply to your life in some way. But as always, remember, you can trust your hustle to live an unexpected life.